Yes, from the WSIC Weather Center. Clouds are going to roll in as you head through the evening and into the overnight hours. Low temperature tonight is going to be below freezing again. We'll be down at 28 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be another mostly sunny day. Should be a little bit warmer. We're expecting a high temperature up near 55 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Hi folks, Pat Shannon inviting you to join me for the Home Ad Show. We help you sell things, buy things, celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and have a lot of fun in the process. Weekday mornings from 9 to 11, here on News Talk WSIC.
Hello everyone. It's Tuesday. It's a beautiful Tuesday at that. You're listening to the Scoreboard here on WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. Always streaming the video live to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WSICnews.com. We're all over the world. You can get us anywhere in the world. Isn't that crazy? Call in 704-873-1400. What a day of sports we had last night. Double header for Monday Night Football. And oh boy, it might be time for a new bandwagon on the scoreboard. We've done it twice now, and it didn't work out well. You know, during the MLB season, we were on board. We sat nice and cozy in that Cincinnati Reds bandwagon, and, unfortunately, it didn't get us to the finish line. And then we declared, you know what, Colorado, they're going to do something this year. They're ranked early in the year, Coach Prime. So we sat in that bandwagon, and it didn't work out. They lost all but one of their final games after that. And now with Monday Night Football, a new legend has emerged in the NFL landscape. We'll make sure to talk about that game and the other game. Don't forget there's been 2 games last night. I hate it. I don't like doing 2 games on a Monday night, but we got to talk about them. So we'll have all of that for you. And also, we'll talk about stuff that happened over the weekend. I know yesterday I didn't have all the time in the world to recap everything, including the Ohtani deal, including all of the NFL games. And specifically, one thing that I wanted to talk about was the in-season NBA tournament. We really didn't touch on it all that much, and it was a big moment. So we will get to that in the later parts of the show. But as we always do, we're going to start with the high school realm, and high school football currently over. So we will only be talking about basketball right now. And then, as spring stuff starts up, we'll work in some spring sports. But we'll start closer to Lake Norman with Mooresville basketball sitting right now at 5-2. Their next game is later on this week. They'll take on Concord at home. It's a 2:30 game on a Saturday, so we got to wait at least the rest of the week before they play their next game. Lake Norman sits at 7-0, and they actually have a game tonight. They are on the road, and they have already started. Tip-off for that game was at 6 o'clock at Mount Tabor. Lake Norman looking to continue the undefeated streak to open the season. 7-0 right now, looking to add to it. As we come a little bit closer to the Statesville Studio A area, we will talk about Statesville High School. They have a game tomorrow after they ended their couple-week hiatus from games with a loss against Mooresville. But tomorrow they'll take on North Lincoln at home, starting that game at 7:30. West Iredell 1-4 to start the year. They also won't be playing until tomorrow. Only one win on the year, and that win was a decent one, 58-45 against Elkin at home. But they need to continue to get some wins here. They lost their last game against Wilkes Central and almost got doubled up. 81-42, the final score of that one. So on the road tomorrow against Bunker Hill. Bunker Hill starting the year 0-4. So maybe a good chance for West Iredell to get a little bit of momentum going. We'll see where they end up there. But 1-4 to start the year, definitely not the spot that they want to be. And a lot of the schools up in this Statesville area did not have a great start to their high school basketball seasons, including North Iredell up in Olean, North Carolina. 2-4 to start the year. They won their first game against South Iredell, and they won their last game also against South Iredell. Everybody else, they have lost to. But they play a game tonight, a little bit later on. They're at home today. Tip-off 7:30 versus Davie. That game is in North Iredell's home court. And last but definitely not the least, the South Iredell Vikings. Tough start to their year. Only one win on the year, and it was against a rival in West Iredell. But 1-6 to start the year. They also they have a game today on the road against North Lincoln. Tip-off for that one starts at 7:30. And as far as the high school scene goes with football, well, we talked about all of the state champions, including one that's in our listening area, Hickory. So if they are listening, congratulations. If anybody from Hickory is tuning into this program today, just a massive congratulations. 3A state champion, and they're the only one that won a state championship on a Friday. Kind of cool if you ask me. Every other state championship game was on Saturday, noon, 3, and 7 o'clock. So only one was decided on a Friday. I mean, it's football Friday night, you know? High school games should be decided on a Friday, but I get why they did it. They wanted to spread everything out a little bit. There were live streams of the games, so you could tune in, and if everybody's playing at once, you know, or if there's 2 games and then 2 games, you can't watch everything. So they spread it out a little bit, but we will pick up the high school stuff once the football season starts back up. We'll begin talking about that, obviously, as we head into a football off season. Basketball in full swing now. Long basketball season, too. We're only in the middle of December, and we have regular season games scheduled all the way through mid-February. So quite a while before we get to some playoff basketball. But we'll continue to keep you updated, as always, for the rest of the season. We have a lot of things coming up for you here as we got a couple of minutes before the break. Just a little bit of a preview into the next segment. We're going to talk about Major League Baseball to start the next segment. We have to talk about Shohei Ohtani because, man, is there some interesting things that have been done with this Shohei Ohtani contract. And if you missed it, yesterday we announced that over the weekend, Shohei Ohtani signed with the L.A. Dodgers, 10 years, $700 million, and he deferred $680 million to the next 10 years. So he will get $20 million for the next 10 years, and then 10 years after that, he'll get $68 million a year. We'll talk a little bit about why that's not great for baseball and why we'll probably see that changed in the future. But stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We have our break coming up. We got a lot in store for today. We're going to talk about the NFL and wrap up the weekend, put a nice bow on it. We have some playoff races that are starting to heat up. The NFC was kind of dull for a few weeks there. There was a big separation between wild card teams and teams out of the playoffs, but that separation has narrowed. We'll go over a whole bunch of scenarios when we return. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Scoreboard here on WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. And like I always say, call in 704-873-1400. Let me know what you think. We're back after this.
Keep it right here. There's more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the way from the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Already thinking about what you're going to do in the new year? Several performances scheduled at Kane Center for the Arts are already sold out. Some of the upcoming Kane Center performances include Rocky Lynn, Forever Young, Jeff Allen, and even a Stunt Dogs experience. To see the entire lineup and to purchase your tickets, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? Speedway Christmas is back. Happening daily, the amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Santa is here. Schedule your time to take pictures between now and Christmas Eve in Birkdale. Appointments include time with Santa and 8 digital images from the professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Come enjoy mistletoe sip and shops in downtown Mooresville this Friday. Open houses, store specials, sumptuous sips, divine deals, and yummy appetizers. Oh boy! This Friday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Mistletoe Sip and Shops this Friday night, downtown Mooresville. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Clouds are going to roll in as you head through the evening and into the overnight hours. Low temperature tonight is going to be below freezing again. We'll be down at 28 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be another mostly sunny day. Should be a little bit warmer. We're expecting a high temperature up near 55 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Folks, you know Randy Marion sells vehicles the King of Price way, but did you know our service department? We service vehicles the King of Price way. We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive. Whatever the season is, Randy Marion service departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com.
Your home for the holidays. WSIC.
The Scoreboard with Joe Berg continues now on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right. Here we are back for another segment on the Scoreboard, WSIC 105.9 100.7 FM. Give me a call, 704-873-1400. I'm monitoring those phone lines, waiting for it to buzz if somebody has anything that they'd like to talk about with sports. We're going to turn our attention to Major League Baseball, and the reason being we had a historic contract signed over the weekend. It is actually it is believed to be the largest contract in sports history worldwide, surpassing what was the most expensive contract, Lionel Messi, from the contract he got from Barcelona in the early 2010s, which totaled up to about $630 million. But Ohtani gets a 10-year contract, $700 million. That's $70 million a year. But he's actually not going to get all of that money in 10 years. It's weird the way this happened. And this is big, and I don't think it's good for baseball. Let's go through this. So Ohtani has decided to defer $68 million every single year of his $70 million average salary. This is an idea that came from Ohtani himself. So the report is that Ohtani, when negotiating with all these teams, gave them this option and said, look, I am willing to defer all of this money until after the contract. That way, and this is why he did it, and it's smart. His contract's only going to count for $2 million on the cap, on the salary of the team. There is no cap, the salary of the team. That gives the Dodgers a ton of flexibility to, number one, make some trades during the season if they need to. But number two, we're still in free agency. There's still a lot of good players out there. And one of those players, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I tried for so long to get that one. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is a Japanese star pitcher. He's a left-handed pitcher. And now the report is that the Dodgers are in conversations with him to come pitch for them. I'm not surprised. You know, they want to buy. They want to continue to increase the chances of them winning a World Series. And I get it. It's what you want to do. But it feels dirty. It just doesn't have the feel that it should. And the Ohtani signing, when it was announced he was going to the Dodgers, it was almost kind of like a letdown for most MLB fans, in my opinion, because the Dodgers are the Dodgers. That's, you know, you're going to a historic franchise and you're going to go win probably. I mean, it's the Dodgers. They win. This would have been a better story if he said, you know what? I am going to go to Toronto. He's going to Toronto. Shohei Ohtani in Toronto. Doesn't that just sound more interesting? You get a team to yourself. You get a country to yourself. You have all of Canada. Instead, he goes to the other LA team. And now, the day after, when it was announced that he would be deferring 97% of his contract, that's when the tide really started to turn. And this is why it's bad. I mean, it's good for the team, but it's bad for baseball because prior to this, it's in the CBA. Just know this, that it's in the CBA. There's, quote, for the article of deferred compensation, here's what it states. There shall be no limitations on either the amount of the deferred compensation or the percentage of total compensation attributable to deferred compensation for which the uniform player's contract may provide. Whew. Basically, they could have deferred 99. He could have taken a penny for the next 10 years if he wanted to, and then gotten all that money out. There was no limit. And now this is going to change because we never saw a contract like this. Prior to this, Aaron Judge at 9 years, $328 million, had the highest free agent contract. He had the highest ever signing in Major League Baseball. Ohtani doubled him up, more than doubled him up. And this is why it's going to change. It'll change because if it happens again, I don't know if there's going to be a when this happens again, because when are we going to see another player like Shohei Ohtani who's making twice as much as the guy who signed the next highest contract in the league? We're not going to see it often, but they have to fix it because what you don't want is teams just going out in free agency and bringing in all these big names and saying, all of your contracts, we're going to defer them. We're only going to pay you like 75% of the contract. It seems like a little bit of a competitive disadvantage. And it's something that I would expect for a team like the Dodgers to do because they like to buy players. They like to bring in the high name, pay them their money, and try and win a World Series. They've been doing it for the last however long, trying to become a dynasty. They haven't gotten there yet, but this Ohtani signing gives them a much better chance to get them. And look, they have a really good chance at getting Yamamoto. Now that Ohtani's on the team, oh man, do they have a good chance at Yamamoto. And there's a few teams left We know of at least 3 before the report today that the Angels were or the Dodgers are talking to Yamamoto. The Yankees, the Mets, and the Giants. We've also heard inklings of the Red Sox, maybe the Blue Jays, as the Blue Jays continue to try to find somebody. But the San Francisco Giants, they're going to be the interesting team for the next 2 off seasons if they don't end up getting a big name in this off season. Because, well, here we go. San Francisco, Young-Ho Lee, 6 years, $113 million. They get an outfielder. They get a big name. Look at that. Breaking news right here during the baseball segment. The San Francisco Giants get themselves a star player. Congratulations to them. They've been trying for so long. For what, 3 years now they've been looking to get a star player? It was a few years ago they won 100 games. Out of nowhere, it was like San Francisco won 100 games. They're rebuilding. It's kind of like what happened to a few teams this year, actually. The Orioles out of nowhere winning 100 games. The Texas Rangers winning the World Series. Was it expected? No, but it happened. So San Francisco gets a guy and gets a big name at that. How about that? Breaking the news right here on the scoreboard. So the Dodgers are in talks with Yamamoto as of today. And also an update on Juan Soto with his trade to the New York Yankees. There's been absolutely no word of any kind of extension talk. The quote that he gave was, they know where to find me. That was the quote. They know where to find me. I wouldn't be too confident about a Yankees re-signing for Juan Soto. But, they missed out on the Ohtani sweepstakes. It sounds like now that the Dodgers are in play, they're probably going to miss out on the Yamamoto sweepstakes. I don't see why they wouldn't consider signing him long-term. We can get into a lot more baseball stuff as we get closer to the start of the 2024 season. We're almost there. It's already mid-December. We're getting close to New Year's. Before you know it, we'll be talking about college football national champion. Then we'll have a World Series champion. Then all of a sudden the Daytona 500 will be here. And then baseball starts. It's a short turnaround in some of these sports. NASCAR and baseball, in my opinion, is like, man, give these guys a little bit of a break. NASCAR ends in November, and they're back in February. Whew. By the way, your NASCAR update for you, they did end up paving Daytona on the backstretch more. They got rid of a lot more grass. I told you it was going to happen. We're coming up on our halfway point here, second break of the show. When we come back from the other side of the break, we will officially be announcing that we are joining a team's bandwagon. Oh, my goodness. It's not going to be a good one, I'll tell you that much, because honestly, the schedule for this team it's tough. And a couple of weeks ago, they were the number 2 pick in the draft. What a situation we found ourselves in here in this MLB season. And then we'll compare it to our favorite quarterback, Bryce Young. We will talk about Bryce, because I think that there's a lot to talk about with this. Don't go anywhere. Got a little bit of a break coming up here. When we return, you're going to hear about the NFL. Once again, shout out and congratulations to Hickory High School, 3A state champions. Round of applause. Everybody, congratulations. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Scoreboard on WSIC.
More of The Scoreboard with Joe Berg is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Senator Tom Tillis is harnessing the power of clean energy to create a stronger America. Building a clean energy economy will create high-wage American manufacturing jobs and expand opportunities for hardworking families to thrive and prosper. Investing in clean energy innovation will strengthen our electric grid and make it more resilient against natural disasters and foreign hackers. Senator Tom Tillis understands that clean energy is vital to America's economic and national security. To become energy independent, America needs an all-of-the-above energy strategy. Wind, solar, and homegrown biofuels can help break our dependence on foreign energy, create a booming economy, and protect our environment for generations to come. America can lead the world in clean energy innovation. Call 202-224-3121. Thanks, Senator Tom Tillis, for building America's clean energy economy. Paid for by Americans for a Balanced Budget.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Clouds are going to roll in as you head through the evening and into the overnight hours. Low temperature tonight is going to be below freezing again. We'll be down at 28 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be another mostly sunny day. Should be a little bit warmer. We're expecting a high temperature up near 55 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
In life, we plan for many important things. Weddings, our children's education, retirement. A celebration of life is really no different. Planning and paying for your life celebration in advance will give you and your family valuable peace of mind. We'll help you take care of every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're Bunch Johnson Funeral Home. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
Okay, I'm talking funny because I'm in the witness protection program. I have too much credit card debt and I don't want people to find me.
Okay, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about credit card debt. Right, those plastic things that we all have in our wallet. Are you in your 50s or 60s and you're still carrying around a mound of credit card debt? Wouldn't it be nice to start banking that money and save a little money for retirement down the road? We help people restructure their credit card debt all the time. We show people how they can get out of credit card debt in months, not years. Listen, you'll be carrying around credit card debt for the rest of your life unless you deal with it right now. We offer a free consultation so you can learn how you can finally wipe out your credit card debt and start saving money. Give us a free call right now.
Call Debt Solutions Network now. 866-451-3328. 866-451-3328. That's 866-451-3328.
Derek Brown continues to make his Pro Bowl case. I'm Anish Shroff with this Panthers update.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like Chicken Supreme, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
Defensive end Derek Brown continues to be a bright spot for the Panthers. Sunday, he added 10 tackles to go along with his second career interception. Shotgun snap, Carr. Pressure from up the middle. His throw is intercepted. Derek Brown, the big lineman, and the Panthers have it at the Saints' 45.
Just trying to put my hands up, make a play for the defense. It wasn't enough to get the win today, but it was a great play right before the half.
With 74 tackles on the season, Brown has now set the team record for most tackles by a Panthers D lineman, a mark that he equaled a season ago.
Last 2 years I had 2 strong seasons and kind of just found what works for me. We learned a technique and give me a chance at OTAs, give me a chance to go into the summer practicing it, working it, and then, being able to take it full tilt when we get ready to put the pads on. That allows me to be able to function within the system a lot better than, just getting it right at training camp for sure.
Plus, as a team leader, Brown has a very simple message for the rest of the locker room.
We got to have it as a unit, as a team, all 3 phases, man. At the end of the game today, we got short field, but there's no excuse. In the short field, you got to stop those points, man, keep that game manageable, be able to give the offense, special teams a chance to put those points on the board and get us back in that game.
Panthers back at it at home on Sunday when the Falcons come to town. I'm Anish Shroff with this Panthers update brought to you by Morris Jenkins.
Talk sports with Joe Berg. Call 844-STUDIO-4. It's The Scoreboard on the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
All right, everyone, here we are. We are back. WSIC 105.9, 100.7 FM. What a night of football we had last night. 2 Monday night games, and as I've said in the past, not my favorite thing to have 2 Monday night games, but, you know, that's how the NFL wants to do it, and that's what the NFL is going to do. They're not going to listen to little old me. The New York Giants played the Packers of Green Bay, and the Tennessee Titans were on the road in Miami taking on the Dolphins. Now, I got to be honest with you. I pulled a sports no-no last night, a big no-no last night. I watched the end of the Packers-Giants game, and I saw what was going on with the Dolphins and the Titans, and I said, all right, you know, this game's over. I'm going to go to sleep. The silence is because if you know what happened in that game, the Dolphins were up 14 with very little time remaining, only a few minutes. And the final score, the Titans ended up winning by 1. I apologize for my sin. I will be repenting, and I hope you all can give me forgiveness. Because I didn't see the game end. I saw the highlights. I saw what happened. I mean, a 3 and out and just drive down the field and score. Okay. It was a good game. Not the result I was expecting. And it doesn't really shake up the AFC all that much. I don't think that the Titans are going to be a real contender when it comes to the playoffs this year. Now, they could go on a run. It's very possible and finish the year, you know, sitting 9-8 and maybe sneak into the playoffs. But there's just so many teams in front of them that I don't think it's going to happen. On the other side of the equation, you had the NFC game, the Giants and the Packers. The Packers sitting in the playoffs right now. The Giants, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the Giants as the second pick in the draft. Who knows if they keep losing? Maybe they get Caleb Williams. Maybe they get Drake May. Speaking of, Drake May declared for the NFL draft. Just a little side note. It was expected. It's not really news. It's just an update. The legend of the New York Giants right now with the injury, the Achilles injury to Daniel Jones, their $40 million a year quarterback. You got to remember, $40 million a year. And then their backup, Tyrod Taylor, he's been around the league. Started with the Ravens, ended up with the Bills. He took the Bills to the playoffs for the first time since the 90s. Then we had that situation with the Chargers where he was getting an injection from a trainer, and the trainer hit his lung. And, well, that started the reign of Justin Herbert. And then he's in New York. Daniel Jones goes down. Tyrod comes in. And then all of a sudden, Tyrod Taylor, major rib injury. And here comes this undrafted kid, Tommy DeVito. Didn't play well in his first game. But he's won 3 games in a row. The New York Giants right now are 5-8. It doesn't sound like a good record because it isn't a good record. But if you look at the NFC this year, the NFC is trash. I mean, just absolutely terrible. The leader of the NFC South is 6-7. The 7th seed in the NFC right now is the Green Bay Packers still at 6-7. Also, with a record of 6-7, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Falcons, the Saints. It's a lot of teams fighting for one spot in the playoffs. But wait, it gets better. One game behind those teams, sitting at 5-8, are the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears. The Bears, a surprise in themselves. I mean, look, I did not expect them to have 5 wins this year. I don't think anybody expected the Giants to have 5 wins after the start that they had. But you got to remember, this was a playoff team last year. So it's not like they're a trash team who had the number 1 overall pick last year. No, they were in the playoffs. They won a playoff game. That happened. As last year, the Giants were 9-7-1. They had a tie, and they went to the playoffs. So right there, all I'm going to say is 9 wins is enough to get into the playoffs, it seems, with this 17th game that's been added to the schedule. It seems like 9 wins usually get you in. Right now, if the New York Giants were to win every game for the rest of the season, 9-8, I guess not as good as last year because they'd have 1 more loss, but that's what they have. And you have Tommy DeVito, who's playing great. Here's a pop quiz for you. I heard this stat today. Can you name every quarterback in NFL history who has done these things? 80% completion percentage, 70 or more rushing yards, no sacks, no turnovers. There's one. There's one player, 80% completion percentage, 70 or more rushing yards, no turnovers, no sacks. We saw it last night. It's Tommy DeVito. He is the only player in NFL history to have a stat line like that. And he didn't have a great night. It wasn't something where we're going, oh my goodness, look at what Tommy DeVito did. He threw all over the Packers. No, he managed the game. No turnovers. 80% completion percentage. Only 150 yards passing, but it was effective. They got the win. And that final drive for the Giants with Tommy DeVito, I don't want to say it because I don't know if this is even allowed to be said anymore. But that final drive, it was so methodical with the checkdowns that I was thinking in the back of my head, I was like, did he watch a lot of Tom Brady growing up? Because if you've watched Tom Brady, one of his biggest things was just hitting the check down. Get 3 yards here, 5 yards here, 6 yards here, 2 yards here. That's what they were doing on that final drive until finally Wan'Dale Robinson broke a big one, got the Giants into field goal range, and the rest is history. Now, there are so many storylines from this game. There's a few from the other game. I mean, Tyreek Hill got hurt. That's big news. But did you see Tommy DeVito's agent? Oh my goodness. Guy was fully decked out. What a sight to be seen. And the family there, and the hand gestures. Oh my goodness. Now, Sal Stiletto is the agent for Tommy DeVito. He's been around the league. He's been an agent. Here's something really, this is just absolutely hilarious. The story just continues to get better and better. Not only is Sean Stiletto the agent for Tommy DeVito, but he is also getting inducted into the Italian American Sports Hall of Fame this Friday in Chicago. I didn't even know that was a thing. The Italian American Sports Hall of Fame. What? Tommy DeVito, first ballot. I mean, look at the ruckus he's causing in New York, around the league. It's been some scene. But I didn't know there's an Italian American Sports Hall of Fame in Chicago. Weird that it's in Chicago. You would expect it to be in New York, But forget about it. So we are now officially bandwagon fans. The scoreboard is on the wagon. Go Giants. One more segment when we come back. You're listening to the Scoreboard here on WSIC. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this.
More of The Scoreboard with Joe Berg is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Already thinking about what you're going to do in the new year? Several performances scheduled at Kane Center for the Arts are already sold out. Some of the upcoming Kane Center performances include Rocky Lynn, Forever Young, Jeff Allen, and even a Stunt Dogs experience. To see the entire lineup and to purchase your tickets, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? Speedway Christmas is back. Happening daily, the amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Santa is here. Schedule your time to take pictures between now and Christmas Eve in Birkdale. Appointments include time with Santa and 8 digital images from the professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Come enjoy Mistletoe Sip and Shops in downtown Mooresville this Friday. Open houses, store specials, sumptuous sips, divine deals, and yummy appetizers. Oh boy! This Friday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Mistletoe Sip and Shops this Friday night, downtown Mooresville. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Clouds are going to roll in as you head through the evening and into the overnight hours. Low temperature tonight is going to be below freezing again. We'll be down at 28 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be another mostly sunny day. Should be a little bit warmer. We're expecting a high temperature up near 55 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Tilly Harley-Davidson is simply the best, and their service department is second to none. Right now, 1K, 5K, and 10K M8 service is only $351.25 plus tax, including SIN 3 and heavy gear oil. Stop by to schedule your next service or online at TillyHD.com. Be road ready with Tilly of Statesville.
Check out what's jingling around your hometown on WSIC.
Now, more of the Scoreboard with Joe Berg on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we made it to the final segment here on the Scoreboard. Big announcement today. Big announcement for the Scoreboard. We are officially on the New York Giants bandwagon because their quarterback is a legend. The New York Giants quarterback Joe Pesci. Tommy DeVito, the character. What? Joe Pesci's character in Goodfellas. What? It's Tommy DeVito. I think that's just what a story this is. This is so funny. Imagine the Giants go to the playoffs. This is like the number one story in football right now is Tommy DeVito, his family, and his agent, and the fact that they keep winning. Like, it's not like he's going out there and looking terrible every week. He looks good. He looks like a competent player. Who knows? Maybe they found their next quarterback? Oh, I thought they did find their next. Daniel Jones was never going to be that guy. They gave him the contract with an out after 2 years because they needed somebody, and that's the going rate for a quarterback. Here's something for you. I'm going to upset a lot of people here. whatever. Tommy DeVito in 4 starts, 6 total games, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Do you know where I'm going with this one? Carolina Panthers quarterback in 12 games, 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. I don't think that the Giants have that much better of a talent pool. I mean, look, Daniel Jones was getting sacked left and right. This is the problem that the Panthers are having right now. The sacks are insane. The offensive line is terrible. The Giants don't have a good offensive line. They don't have a good receiving. They don't have a good team. But here they are somehow making it work. Whereas the Panthers continue to struggle. Now, I want to try and figure it out. Like, what is it about the Panthers? And the more I think about it, the more I think it just comes down to Bryce Young. Because we've seen players that are able to make it work without having that much talent around them. It happens. Look at Brady's career. I mean, that's, the gold standard. But look at what Mahomes is doing right now. He's doing okay. He's doing pretty good. He doesn't have that many weapons on this team. Yeah, they have Travis Kelce. That's it. Kadarius Toney's not a weapon. Marquez Valdes-Scantling can't catch anything. Kadarius Toney can't even line up on sides. So I don't know what it is with the Panthers. But it's just insane to me that an undrafted quarterback is able to come out of nowhere for a team that is the second worst in the league. Like, it was Panthers are the worst and then the Giants. So it's not like the teams were that much different. One had 1 win, the other had 2 wins. And then all of a sudden, an undrafted rookie quarterback comes in, wins games, 3 straight, and the Giants are out of the basement and fighting for the playoffs. I didn't see it coming. There were a lot of other good games. We don't want to dedicate the entire show to the spectacularness that is the New York Giants football team. Because, look, the Bears beat the Lions. That was a big game when it comes to seeding in the NFC. The Ravens barely snuck one out over the Rams. The Buccaneers took down the Falcons, meaning that the division leader in the NFC South still has a losing record. There's got to be some kind of an amendment made to the rule book that's like, yeah, you can still win your division and make the playoffs, but if you're a sub-500 division winner, you're not allowed to host the playoff game. I mean, you got to do something, right? Panthers look terrible against the Saints, only putting up 6 points. Bryce Young with what I think is one of his worst games yet. 13 of 36, 137 yards. Not even doing anything with his legs either. No rushing touchdowns on the year. I don't know what we're going to do. They're in the worst possible situation in the NFL. The Vikings played the Raiders in the greatest show to ever grace a football field. The Vikings win that one 3-0. 3-0. Yeah. It's happened before. It's been a while. But a 3-0 football game. Then you had the Bills and the Chiefs in what Patrick Mahomes called one of the worst officiating decisions in the world. I don't know what he wanted. Like, did Mahomes in one day become the villain of the NFL? Because nobody's taking this well. From the fit that he threw on the sideline to the things that he said to Josh Allen post-game to his press conference, everything was bad. There was nothing positive that you could take out of anything that happened. And I get it. He's upset. But when your player lines up a full yard offsides, what do you want the refs to do? Not call it? Didn't the Super Bowl end on a questionable pass interference that benefited the Chiefs? Were you complaining then? Yeah, I didn't think so. But I will say, The officiating in the NFL this year has been terrible. Just awful. And I think there was one play during the Monday night game, Giants-Packers, that really summed it up. Tommy DeVito went for a slide and got clocked, and there was no flag. And then you had the announcers, and they're saying, well, I guess maybe he got his shoulder. Once a player, especially a quarterback, gives themselves up, you can't hit them. So they're tripping on themselves. And this is going to become a problem soon. They're going to start to have to answer questions about this because we're seeing, and Mahomes, this is the one thing he was right about. The referees are a topic every single week. And it's not, I want to say it's not any worse than it usually is, but it really seems like it's worse than it's ever been. And a referee, throwing a flag on something that is supposed to be a flag and then complaining about it? Huh? Let's go back to replacement refs. Why not? Have another Hail Mary. See if Mahomes likes that. We got a couple of minutes left here before we head out on this wonderful Tuesday. I haven't really given that much time to the NBA yet. I have to talk about what we had over the weekend, the in-season tournament, the first ever in-season tournament. Look, Tyrese Halliburton is legit. He is a legit player. But unfortunately, the Lakers were too much. And I'm not too surprised. I mean, the Lakers are supposed to have a good team this year. It is surprising to me that they were able to win a tournament early in the season like this. And the players cared. I think that was the most important thing. The players cared and the fans cared. There was a cup. They looked like they enjoyed it. I mean, I don't want to get too conspiracy as we head to the end of the show here, but I wonder if there was a directive from the NBA to say, look, after whoever wins, you better act like it meant something to you. Show some emotion. Don't act like whatever, we won an in-season tournament. I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't want to start any conspiracies. LeBron was named the MVP of the inaugural in-season NBA Cup. And there was a first ever in-season tournament all-tournament team. Giannis, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Tyrese Halliburton, and LeBron James. These are all names that they showed out. They had a great tournament. And it's already being reported that the NBA is looking into making some changes with the tournament. And I get it. I like it. Tweak it a little bit. But you know what? Round of applause. They did it. They did something that got attention to the NBA before New Year's, before Christmas Day, which historically Christmas Day and New Year's Day, big days for the NBA. They're going to get overshadowed a little bit this year with the NFL, but historically big days. And you got eyes on the NBA, and you got players actually competing. That is what I think is the biggest success. We have a comment real quick before we go. Make sub 500 division winners be considered a wild card if there are other non-winners above 5. It's a great idea. Put somebody else. You shouldn't host a playoff game if you're under 500. We can talk about that more as we get to the end of the season because we might not actually have that situation take place. But if it does, we'll talk about it. Thanks for joining me on this Tuesday. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow right here. Same time, same place on the Scoreboard. Have a good one, everyone.